A woman is praised for the way she responded after seeing a homeless teenager sleeping in her garden. I'm going to read this story from Lad Bibles, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with a good news, good vibes story here. And this one is from Lad Bible with the headline that a woman's been praised for the way she responded after seeing a homeless teenager sleeping in her garden. Now, we're going to watch one or two. We're going to watch, there are 2 TikTok clips of her. And we're going to watch her in action on some of the things she's done for this homeless teenager that apparently was not necessarily sleeping right inside her garden, but pretty much close to it in a certain spot. Obviously, I can't obviously see the actual home, but we can see like the area part of her house. We'll see in the video where the guy was sleeping. Long story short, she has two young kids. And she recently she shared this in a video, and she recently during the time of this thing happened, she broke up with her husband, so she's living on her own with the 2 kids. So obviously she's very busy, understandably so. And this young teenager just happened, for whatever reason, his life is not going the way he is, and he's basically technically homeless. Something tells me that, based on what I've read in this story, is that the guy was staying in the place where he was and going to work and then coming back and then staying in the same place because he doesn't have anywhere to live. But he's trying to basically, my impression is that he's trying to make a living for himself. Now, whatever you might think of how you should treat a homeless person if someone ever turns up in your home, every circumstance is different. But I would always talk about treating people with the utmost caution and care, because you don't know what their situation is. Obviously, you have to be incredibly safe in whilst doing so, because while it may seem like that this person could be really troublesome, they could be very deceptive as well. Sometimes the best answer is to let local authorities do that. But this woman, the way she did it, before she got non-respondents involved, is she did it in a very incredibly safe and humane way, in a way that she didn't put herself in danger, she didn't put him in danger, she didn't put her kids in danger, and she was very careful in doing so. And she gave a lot of her own things and things that was passed on to her to help this young man on his feet, because he was basically sleeping on concrete. So let's read into this story, and then I'll play the videos for you guys. So, a woman has been praised for the way she responded after seeing a homeless teenager sleeping in her garden. So, Elly from Washington State, US, initially held back from sharing her story online, but began to post videos of the exchange on TikTok on the handle Elly YYYYE. Hoping to just get some advice, her video last month had gone completely viral as she shared updates on the unhoused boy. Elly explained that a teenager had been living in her yard. He says he can't stay, but I didn't want to evict him either, she wrote. Yeah, so there was a moral compass for her, like she didn't want to just kick him away, but she didn't want to can't keep him there either. So it's a very difficult situation for her. Racking up hundreds of thousands of views as users respond with praise, advice, and similar experience. She said she noticed the 16-year-old lad a number of times. She explained how he had noted him curled up near her home, but didn't ask him to leave. My Ring doorbell alerted me to his presence in the past, and he is always respectful, she wrote on the clip. He generally looks like he's just gotten out of class at a nearby high school. Elly went on to say that he doesn't talk to anyone, and he is just there reading, eating snacks, and just rests. She wrote the teen a note saying she is 100% okay with him being outside her home, and had left him some supplies, offering to do this washing and allowing him to use her water to clean up. The lad eventually left her a note back thanking her, but said he didn't feel comfortable to go in her back garden. They ended up exchanging notes for a few weeks while the user becomes hooked on the story. People commenting on the video saying how you've handled this situation is perfect. Others added, thank you for being kind to this kid. This is so genuine and pure, another said. Speaking to people, Elly described, a lot of people have said that I've done the good thing or have complimented me as a person when I've done literally the bare minimum. She explained how she tried to walk a fine line between making this available to him without any strings attached. I'm doing this because I see you, and if this because I see you, and if this benefits you, great. If you want to continue sleeping on the slopes, that's fine too. But if you'd like to improve your situation, here are these things with no pressure either way. The pair met face to face this month with him sharing the story. I did my best to keep that information confidential. He had been very vulnerable and shared sensitive details, Elly explained. That led to a 90-minute conversation where he laid out what he was going to do, what he was going on. She added, I made him aware that we would need to take the next step. I started calling it resources and gathering information for the next step. There's a number there for those in America for the contact shelter as well. So let's listen from her TikTok clips. This is TikTok handle here. So this is the first one here, guys, on the story. Hopefully it won't be too loud for you guys. I do apologize. I can't really adjust the volume on this.
So I just moved into my garage and I noticed that an unhoused boy that was outside my house the other day is back. I noticed this boy getting comfortable on my stoop. He and I made eye contact as I was going in my front door. I don't know if I should have not been chill with it, but like he had his water. He was obviously very tired, and so I didn't ask him to leave. Anyway, he's there again now. He's dead asleep. Looks like he's maybe 16 tops. Giant jug of water, like conked out on some cinder blocks. What I'm going to do, and I'm documenting this for mostly my own safety because I know this is not what is recommended, but I'm going to put together a plastic tote with like an extra pillow and a blanket. I'm gonna write a note and I'm gonna say, hey, this plastic tote with this blanket and this pillow is just gonna be inside of the fence if you ever want to grab it. And if you need anything to be washed, here is a bag or whatever, and you can just put your shit in that, and then I will wash it and like throw it back out where the plastic bin is. And he looks like he has it really rough right now, so that's what I'm gonna do. I don't have a whole infrastructure to take in the view, but I can do that. I can make sure that he has like a blanket because he's sleeping on cinder blocks. That's mostly the thing. Here's the note that I'm gonna leave. There's a box with a blanket and a pillow. And I'm not Miss Money Bags over here, but I don't have nothing. I can give him some like soup. Yeah, all of my canned goods are limited to soup, but I could throw in some like apple sauces or something. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking this. Soup. I don't know if this is gonna fit. Tetris. I should see if I can find the lid for this. No! What the heck?
Nope, needs a bigger tote. Very generous of her. That's a lot of things for him. Do you see that's his spot?
So he's not in the spot. However, he has left an accumulation of trash. I'm going to call the non-emergency police line just because, at least when it documented that there is an unhoused youth sleeping on my stoop, so that, I don't know, if somebody's looking for him, that he can be found. I'm feeling, sorry, I'm just picking up trash off of my garage. I feel pretty okay with what I've done. And he's also very young. I don't know, seeing him out there in his little candy pit, that was my son. I would hope someone would care.
Yeah, and it cut off there, I'm afraid. But there is one more video to look at. But you saw briefly the I don't know if I can't really play it back unless I just wonder if I can. Yeah, I can't really because of the way that the app this website is, I can't actually like scroll along. But you saw briefly like the area where he was sitting on and sleeping on concrete. It's very, very rough for him. So this was the other updated video from her.
I do have an update regarding the unhoused boy that has been living in my yard for the last month, but I just wanted to say thank you to this comment right here, because you truly don't know how many things you're doing wrong before you put it on the internet, and everyone just is so happy to tell you. I left my note for the boy on Monday night, assuming that he would be by on Tuesday, see it, get the thing. However, he did not come on Tuesday. I saw the note that was still there yesterday. When I walked my children to school this morning, the note was still there. It's Wednesday. As luck would have it, I needed to go in the office today. So as I was leaving around 10:45, I saw that he was on the stoop. What I didn't know when I left my house was that like 35 minutes later, he was going to ring my Ring doorbell. And I was in an interview with a candidate. I knew it had to be him. I couldn't answer it. And then he rang again. And even the interviewee was like, do you need to get that? Everyone can have an opinion about what I chose to do, but I flipped my phone over and I carried on with the interview. I'm sorry. Here you can see the timestamps of 11:32, 11:33, and 11:34. And then this is our guy. Wow. This is our kiddo. Then at 2:29 p.m., he comes by the door again and he leaves me this note. This is the note. It's written on a piece of receipt and it says, hello, thanks for the note. I don't feel comfortable to just go in the back. And I have only one pair of clothes. I need help getting more. Someone stole my bag with my clothes in it. Can you meet me on the side? I'll be at the church behind you guys at 7. And then it says, thank you. And then flip. And on this side it says, a girl gave me her old leggings for underpants. I took it because it gets cold in the early mornings. Only got one pair of socks, one pair of pants, and shirts. And it's all on my... Thank you for offering to wash my clothes. Sorry for misspelling. Thank you and God bless. So obviously that destroyed me. I was reading the note with like my own 2 little boys like running around. They are 6 and 5. And I'm recently divorced, so it's not like I can just go and rob hubby. So I robbed my ex-husband. I called him and I was like, you have to have clothing. Like, I need it, give it. We have a very amicable relationship. As a recently divorced woman who lives alone with her 2 children, I was also unavailable to go to the side of a church after dusk. So I do recognize that boy was probably waiting there at 7, but I had neither the clothes nor the feeling of safety to be able to go. So this is what I'm going to be doing. Again, I'm anticipating the comments that I know are going to happen. I'm going to write him an updated note. And I'm going to leave it in the same place, in the same way that I left the original one. And I'm going to sincerely apologize. And I'm going to explain lightly some of the extenuating circumstances. Because he noted that somebody did steal his last backpack, I'm going to leave this backpack within a secure location, literally just inside the fence. I know he said that he doesn't feel comfortable going back there, but he does not have a safe place to store his items. So I'm going to encourage him to leave the backpack full of his personal items by the gate. A backpack is another thing that I have secured from ex-husband. Although technically my father gave it to him. Plan of action, writing the note, leaving the note, tomorrow midday going and buying fresh underwear, fresh socks, and then package everything, drop in fence. After he's washed, after he's clothed, after he has the opportunity to get some good rest, then we will introduce the idea of resource officers, programs, all of that other stuff. I didn't push him for information. He gave me a lot of information. My number one goal is to help him to feel safe, to meet his needs. Tertiary to that would be then to introduce the correct resource. Thank you for everyone who is participating in this journey. I myself was a foster kid. I did not have the best upbringing, but here I am, and much by the grace of the charity of others, I have a very successful life with all of my needs met. It is very difficult for me to see this boy and not see myself, and he needs help. Why the fuck would I not give that?
Couldn't agree more. It's such a fascinating story because, you know, I've always said on my channel, and I've said this so many times to you guys about how it's to try and put yourself in someone else's shoes, to try and understand why someone is in a situation, why someone thinks, why they think, why they feel. And it's really important to remind ourselves the humanity that we have within us. How important it is sometimes that it's not always about the money in your pocket. It's not always about the items that you have. Sometimes people just need a pick-me-up. And of course, going back, because I said obviously about items, well, she literally gave lots of items, lots of clothes, lots of things for this young man. And what I also appreciate is not just the giving that she gave to this young man, but was also very cautious of not going out of her way to meet him for our own safety, because obviously she doesn't know anything about him, and absolutely right in doing that. You know, you're taking a huge risk by allowing him to be there as well, because there is that risk, because you just don't know this person. You can only go by the notes, by the way by the way he's conducting himself there when he is there. And you're a single mother of 2 children, and your number one priority is yourself and those 2 children in your home. So it's completely understandable to have that boundaries there. So, but the way she had conducted herself throughout all this process was very applicable, and for her to give the things they need. This article was published on the 30th of October this year, just for reference, people. So my hope is that the teenager is in a much better place. Obviously, as I read in the article, they obviously met later on down the line, which is nice. And I hope he's in a lot better place now. You know, that he's on his feet and he's making his way in the world. And I really do hope so. But I hope it also inspires people that sometimes, you know, we don't always know why people are in situations that they're in, but it doesn't mean you can always treat them negatively or try to kick them away. And she thought about herself and what she'd been through maybe when she was younger. Obviously, she didn't give her full story, but she felt the humanity in her to compelled to help that person. But what do you guys think? What do you guys make of the woman and the way she responded to this homeless teenager? Would you have responded the same way? Maybe you would have responded differently. Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments section below. If you found this video interesting, heartwarming, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share this story across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. So it really does help support the channel. If you're not interested in other news and politics, which I do, there's a whole playlist of wonderful good news stories that drops every Sunday at 8 a.m. here on the channel. So if you're not interested in any other stories and just good news ones, there's a whole playlist you can check out on the good news, good vibes, and hopefully they will make your day better. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.